Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chump 101. You know what time of year it is. It's June. The celebration of, well, we're going to do courage. We're not going to do the other thing. Because they get to celebrate pretty much all year nowadays. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to do a series this month. Every week I'm going to put out a video celebrating people with courage. So June can be Courage Month. People showing plenty of courage and standing up against the woke mob, like people like, Riley Gaines, for example. She's been in the news a lot. Oh, Harrison Butker, too. Harrison Butker, yeah, he stood up for some stuff. He's gotten a lot of blowback. And, Jordan Peterson, he's another one. We're going to get into all of those. But first, like always, this video is brought to you by Trevor Hunt Music at trevorhuntmusic.com. Go to the website, get booked, book him up for a show. Great performer. Just very talented, the whole band. They're getting booked up pretty quick, though. So you just got to get in there and get it scheduled. So anyways, like, subscribe, all the things. Helps the channel out. Let's go. I mentioned Dr. Jordan Peterson. He needs no introduction. This man is a genius. He is a clinical psychologist and one of the top in the country, I would venture to say. So I'm not going to be able to say this any better than he is, so let's just take a look at what he's got to say, shall we?
This is the celebration of pride, the hedonistic celebration of pride. You know, we have Pride Month. Well, what are we celebrating? First of all, how about we don't celebrate pride? Pride's a cardinal sin. And you might say, well, they don't mean pride. They mean, it's a group of oppressed people and now they're just finding their identity and they're getting some security in that identity. And so what they mean by pride is security in that identity. It's like the word's pride. That's the word that was chosen. So I don't care what the lies around that are. And it's pride in relationship, as far as I can tell, to nothing but hedonistic self-gratification. It's like your identity is going to be your sexual desire. That's your identity, your sexual desire. So sexual desire is at the center of hedonism. So that means you've reduced your identity to the most immature and hedonistic part of you. The part that would exploit someone else for your own gratification, for example. The part that would exploit you for your own gratification. And now that's your identity. And now that's what we celebrate. Yeah, no, that's a very bad idea. That's the worship of the golden calf. And that's what, in the Exodus story, for example, when Moses disappears, so he's the prophet of God, when the prophet of God disappears, the Israelites are left in the hands of Aaron, and Aaron's a political leader. And in no time flat, the political leader offers the slavish Israelites the worship of the golden calf. They're all drunk and dancing naked around the fire in a way that makes them contemptible to their enemies. That's what it says in the biblical text. You don't have to be much of a genius to understand that, Rachel Levine is not exactly striking fear in the heart of the Iranians. We're so damn stupid.
I mean, the man has a way with words, and I got to tell you, he's right. He's right on all counts, even that last part, And these aren't just smart words, intelligent words coming from an intelligent man. I don't know his entire theology or background. I'm sure we disagree on some things, and that's okay. We're on the same team. He gets it. Just like the other two we're going to talk about, too. They get it. But you know what else they have in common? Courage. That man, they were threatening to take his license away from him in Canada because he wouldn't bow to the alphabet mafia and the environmentalist agenda or whatever. I don't know all the details, but he stood up and said, I don't care. I'm not going to be forced to participate in a delusion. He's standing up. He's got courage. Sort of sounds familiar, right? Like maybe some Daniel in the Lion's Den. Maybe some Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, Maybe some David and Goliath. I got those from my pastor. My pastor, he's cool. He did a good sermon the other day about it, so I thought I'd use it a little bit. But hey, we're all on the same team, right? So yeah, I mean, Jordan Peterson he hit it right on the head. I mean, it's hedonism, it's all those things, but I'm not going to sit here and bash on, Pride again and all that. I do really want to celebrate and extend a thank you and a love and a support for all of these people like Jordan Peterson and Riley Gaines and Harrison Butker, which we're going to get to in a second. But I mean, they're worth celebrating. And so if we're going to celebrate, have a month of June where we're celebrating stuff, let's do that. Let's do these people. Let's be happy that there's people out there giving us an example to follow. I mean, this is by far not anywhere close to a good podcast or a good YouTube channel, but guess what? I'm working on it because the word's got to get out there, man. We have to do this. We have to be in this together. And, I'm so proud of them for standing up. I am proud of them for standing up. So anyway, Harrison Butker, man. Like, have you guys, I'm sure plenty of you have heard the backlash, and I'm going to play a short clip just to try to show you what he actually said and stuff. But I mean, they're calling him a misogynist, a hateful bigot, and I mean, I saw a comment from somebody that was basically trying to crap all over him, and then another person says, sounds to me like a bunch of people are pissed off about a Catholic saying a bunch of Catholic stuff to a bunch of Catholics in a Catholic school. I mean, honestly, I couldn't have summed it up any better. I mean, it happened to get filmed and put on the internet, and people just, my opinion matters. And, we all have freedom of speech and freedom of opinion, and that's fine. But to try to get someone kicked off a football team, I mean, it's like you're trying to get your feelings hurt if you're seeking it out on the internet. I mean, I seek it out so that I can expose this stuff to show you the craziness of people. And they're trying to get this man fired from his job. And what did he actually say? Well, here's a little bit of that.
Your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally.
Oh no. I mean, it's just truth stuff, man. The things that people get upset about just absolutely baffles me. I mean, the guy went on for like the next 15, 20 minutes to just say how much his wife runs the show and how he respects her and loves her, and the only way he could be the husband and father that he is because of her. And I mean, the feminists came out of the woodwork. I mean, you know how long it's been since I've heard a feminist complain about something? I mean, they let men in women's sports and didn't even bat an eye. But as soon as Harrison Butker refers to the Catholic way of life and his wife and kids, they come out of the woodwork like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. I mean, precious. Accurate. I mean, anyway, so yeah, it's just a disaster. And another one, like I said before, Riley Gaines. I mean, she's out there. I mean, campaigning for women's sports to be fair, and she's doing a heck of a job. We're gonna see two clips here. What she's doing and what's happened to her, because she's a classic. She's out there getting ran out of college campuses or attacked in college campuses. You'll see that here in a second. This is modern. Well, it's not exactly the modern biblical stuff. I mean, it's almost equal to it's our modern consequences for possibly not falling in line with the leftist agenda. And once again, I mean, these are consequences. Not going to hit on this too much, but they just showed their true colors with convicting Donald Trump on some bullcrap that they didn't even tell us what it was. So, I mean, again, it's important for us to shout out to these people and to give them our full support, because they're doing things that, they got a lot more pressure on them. Celebrities, professional athletes and doctors. I mean, Jordan Peterson is connected to the Daily Wire. I mean, they have status. A lot of these people have status, and they're putting that status and risking those things to say what's true. And it doesn't matter if it hurts people's feelings. Truth matters. I'm going to say that all the time because it does. So, speaking of Riley Gaines, she did an interview with Andrew Klavan, but we're just going to do a quick introduction so that in case there's any of you out here that don't know exactly what she's doing or been doing, and then we'll show some consequences for standing up for the truth from her as well. So check this out.
Gosh, in the most roundabout way, the most, what I would say is insane way that this could possibly happen. I'll be very transparent. This is never something that I wanted to do. It's still not something that I want to be doing. It's never something that I felt prepared to do. I didn't have any understanding of civics or civil processes at all. I didn't know anything about our government. I never had to take a government course. My public speaking courses in college, my face would turn the color of a tomato. So this was never something that I was prepared for. But I realized that's not how God works. He doesn't really call the prepared, he prepares the called. And that's certainly what he did with me and competing at that national championships in 2022 against a man.
And I just want to shout out to, Andrew Klavan and the Daily Wire for hosting her on a couple of occasions and giving her a platform to also speak about that. It's awesome. They do great work over there. They're not perfect. Nobody is, but they're doing great work over there. And just thanks again, Andrew Klavan, for that. So what she goes on later to talk about the different attacks that she has experienced in different college campuses and stuff. I'm going to show you one. But this is absolutely ridiculous. To think that she was speaking the truth and a whole mob of people they were trying to kill her. She was stuck in a whole closet, and people had to block it. She was in a room by herself or something, and yeah, they were calling for her death. That's ridiculous. Here's a clip of that.
Former lead college swimmer says that she was ambushed and physically hit by trans rights protesters after speaking at San Francisco State University. Riley Gaines posted video on Twitter last night saying she was confronted by a trans rights activist. Gaines is a former competitor of controversial trans swimmer Leah Thomas. Gaines says police escorted her to safety, that she was forced to barricade for 3 hours in a classroom. The university says police did not make any arrests, but that it is conducting an investigation. The attack happened after Gaines spoke last night to students at a Turning Point USA event at SF State. She says she is not against transgender athletes competing, but believes they have an unfair advantage in women's athletics, and there should be more dialogue about how to make athletics more inclusive.
The motion to
just absolutely disgusting. I mean, they said they made no arrests. Means nobody's accountable for their actions if you're on the left or a fan of non-truth, living in a fantasy world. All those types of people, people that me, all that. It's consequences for only if you speak the truth, and then it can just be violence and nobody cares. And well, some of us do care. And that's why we're trying to do this. And Riley Gaines cares. And Harrison Butker cares. And Jordan Peterson cares. A lot of people care. And we're going to go over them. We're going to have more examples later on. Like I said, every week this month, we're going to celebrate somebody with courage that's standing up to all of this just absolute, utter nonsense. And, so we'll just use the month to have our own little celebration and acknowledge all of the people stepping up. Referenced later on. Actually, I did reference before, but later on I'm going to talk about Dietrich Bonhoeffer and stuff. And it's the same thing. People who are quiet are complicit. The lack of action is action. All those cliche sayings, but it's true. You are complicit in the crap or evil or whatever that's going on if you do not stand up for it. So that's what we're going to do here. And we're going to do this just maybe beyond the month too. But this month's going to be quite a bit of fun. I got a little surprise for you maybe later in the week. I'll share something with you. Just me having a little bit of fun. But before I go, just remember, stay stay solid in your convictions. You know, the Lord has us. You know, we've fight for Jesus. You know, stand up for Jesus. Stand up for God, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, they're fighting over. Well, that's another subject. We don't need to get into that right now. This video is already too long, but I just wanted to reiterate, it's okay to stand. We all need to stand. So, God bless, and I'll see you next time.